watching Living Well Uintah Basin. On Beyond the Couch, we speak with the guys over at Classic Air Medical about what keeps our emergency medical services working together to help our local community. On Dish by Dish, Jason Webb has a unique twist on a popular dish. Watch as he makes fish tacos. Living Well Uintah Basin, presented by Ashley Regional Medical Center. Also made possible by Warriors Warehouse and Uintah Recreation District. Living Well Beyond the Couch.
They have a lot of offline training that allows us the opportunity to use their expertise to help train our people as well as to facilitate better response times and things of that nature.
We do monthly training, quarterly training, yearly trainings, and certifications, and that. So that keeps us best prepared we can for all situations that happen.
Well, whenever we do get a call, we're located just across the street, so for the pilot, it's only about a 2-minute time frame until we're in the helicopter, and we're going out to a scene call, getting it started, and by the time it's all up and running, our nurses and medics are usually showing up, so it's a pretty quick process.
Right now, we look at our response times very critically, and making sure that right now our response times are 5 to 10 minutes to get to the hospital or to get to the helicopter, and so we have a place where our crew stays, across the street here and also other places here. So we have 5 to 10 minutes to get our gear and equipment ready to either arrive at the hospital or arrive at the helicopter.
Most of our pilots actually live here. I'm the only pilot that commutes in from Salt Lake. We do a 7-on, 7-off schedule. And also a lot of our nurses and medics are local here as well. So we're embedded in the community. We know how it is to be out in a rural area. And, I believe that helps us connect more with the community as we're familiar with the people that live here.
We had the opportunity to sponsor any type of charity function. We work with the Rotary Club here in Vernal. We work with UBMC with their golf tournament every year. So we have a lot of opportunities, and we are lucky enough to be a part of that, and we're happy to help with Daggett County EMS, with the Basin Clinic up in Manila, the Dutch John area. We work with Rangeley, Gold Cross here in town.
We work together very closely. They're involved in all of our emergency committees. They're involved in the emergency response program here for the county as well, which we host here, and they're part of that. They work very closely with that as well as with the ambulance service here in town.
In this area, we have a couple of hospitals that we work directly with. Of course, we're right here at Ashley Regional. We do a lot of calls out of this facility. We also work with facilities in Daggett County, on the western slope of Colorado towards Rangeley, Meeker. We have a base also in Steamboat Springs that's right next to us, and so we get that area covered. The other way that we work with different agencies are the EMS agencies, the fire departments that are in the area. So places, Ute Tribe Ambulance, BIA, their agency. They call us if they need us on a scene, if there's a car accident, if there's a prolonged extrication or a situation where they're going to need to be at a trauma center. They'll make that decision right there on scene and call us, and we can go directly to the patient. Those are the good relationships that we have. When we are working directly with EMS agencies, we're being activated at the appropriate times so that we can get patients to definitive care.
Freedom Fitness would like to thank you for your years of patronage. We at Warriors Warehouse are happy to take over the legacy of Freedom Fitness and will support you for years to come. Stop in today.
Finding a family physician can be time-consuming and frustrating. Ashley Regional Medical Center has a solution. Dr. Matt Bowen. Dr. Bowen is a family practice physician and opened his practice in August of 2014. Dr. Bowen is skilled in all aspects of family medicine, from pediatrics to geriatrics, and can treat you and your family for anything from coughs and flu to high blood pressure. Call 781-1200 for appointments.
Living Well Health and Wellness Tip brought to you by Warriors Warehouse.
So our tip today is on German volume training, and it's called German volume training because it started in Germany in the 1970s and was popularized there. It's used by Olympic weightlifting teams to increase strength and size, and it's so effective that typically most lifters can jump to the next weight class in about 12 weeks, and you can see about 10 pounds of lean mass gain in that period of time as well. So how this technique is utilized is it changes two things: increases the total volume lifted during the set, and also decreases the amount of rest time in between to increase intensity. So you would start with you would have to know your 1 rep max, and you would take 60 to 70% of that weight to use as your work weight. So you would start there. You would perform 10 sets of 10. And after each set of 10, you would rest for 60 seconds. So 10 reps, 60 seconds of rest, 10 reps, 60 seconds of rest. So it's not necessarily a tempo of the repetition that you need to follow. It's just mainly that rest time, making sure that it's cut short at 60 seconds. And this will increase the intensity on the muscle, cause more hypertrophy or growth. And the main thing to remember is that it is higher intensity, so you're only going to be able to perform 1 to 2 movements per workout. It also works better with compound movements such as bench press, squats, deadlifts, and then you also need to make sure that you're allowing enough rest time in between to get full recovery of the muscle.
Come see us at Warriors Warehouse, 1060 West Market Drive, Suite 1, right behind McDonald's and Smith's.
Living Well, Dish by Dish.
Hi guys, Jason Webb with Dish by Dish. Today we're going to do another south of the border recipe. This one comes from Southern California by way of Mexico. My wife and I, we used to live in Southern California, and she used to take me to this place called Taco Hut, and it was amazing. I loved it there, especially the fish tacos. So what we're using today is we're actually going to be using some cod. We're going to beer batter that, but you can also grill it as well. And then with the tortillas as well, another healthy variation is I like to slightly fry mine, but another great way, my wife and I have actually found these uncooked corn tortillas that we like to throw on the griddle and warm them up on both sides. And that's a really great alternative to get away from the oils and things like that. So we'll go ahead and get started. These are going to be beer battered fish tacos. So we'll just jump right in. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the beer batter. What we've got is we've got a tablespoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt, a half cup of flour. Mix that up real quick. And on the wet side of things, this is where your beer batter comes in. You can use any kind of beer you want. It's just 1 cup of beer and 1 egg. I am using just a simple American beer, but if you have the opportunity to use a Mexican beer, I would suggest doing that because it only makes it more authentic in flavor. So you add those together and mix so combined, and it's going to be a little lumpy, which is okay. You want it to be slightly lumpy, and if it ends up being a little thin, you can also add a little bit more flour into it if you need to. All right, so we've got our batter prepared, we've got our fish dusted with the flour. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our sauce. This is something you could probably prepare ahead of time. In fact, it's a little bit better. The longer you go with that, the more the flavors tend to marry together and get a little bit more pungent. So what we've got, first of all, is we've got a half a cup of plain yogurt. We've got a half a cup of mayonnaise. I'm a Miracle Whip fan myself, but it is mayonnaise because it's my wife's recipe, so it is what it is. And then we've got a little bit of jalapeno. This is half a jalapeno. You can go a little bit more if you want, but I will tell you that the longer it sits and the longer those flavors have to marinate it, the spicier it's gonna get. So just be aware of that. And then we've got, this is half a tablespoon of chopped capers, which gives it a real salty sea flavor. And then you're gonna take the juice of half a lime. And if your lime doesn't juice right away, or you can't get a whole lot out of it, one thing you can do is you can throw it in the microwave for about 10 seconds, 30 seconds, depending on how big your lime is, and then that'll make it a little bit easier to squeeze. And you'll notice I've got my hand over the pulp of the lime. You don't want the pulp or the seeds going in there. All right, then you're just gonna mix that up. And then again, like I said, if you let it sit for at least a day, the flavors are going to marry a little bit more, get a little bit stronger, and just add that extra oomph to your tacos. All right, so we're gonna let that sit, and we'll get into doing our fish. Now what I've done already is I've dusted the fish just with flour, and then you're gonna drop them into your beer batter. Make sure they get a nice coating. And then you'll drop them into your hot oil. And then you're gonna just watch the oil, watch your fish in there, and you're gonna wait until they're golden brown. And of course, smaller pieces are gonna cook just slightly faster than the bigger ones, so be aware of that. And fish doesn't take a whole lot to cook. So by the time your batter is done, then your fish is cooked all the way through as well. Ooh, you can already smell the wonderful flavors. And watch your oil. I'm doing about 2 fillets of cod, which will do several tacos. I usually do about 2 pieces per taco. Sometimes you can get a little bit more. Your beer batter is going to expand, so it goes a long way. So be aware of that when you're serving up guests. Coming out golden brown. If you have to flip them, that's okay. And each one's gonna cook a little bit different, so you kinda gotta keep an eye on all of them and see what they're doing. Oh, those are turning out beautiful. Look at the color on those. Oh, it's taking me back to Southern California right now. Now, I told my wife she needed to be here for this one so that she could enjoy the fish tacos with me, but I get to have them without her, so I get an extra one. All right, so those are still cooking up. We'll go ahead and plate what we've got. So what I've got here is I've just got a little bit of chopped cabbage that goes down onto the tortilla. And we're gonna do 2 pieces of fish. And then here's some of the sauce that I did the day before. So I'm just gonna have that little stronger jalapeno taste in it. All right, ready to dig into this. And as my wife's grandfather always says, if it doesn't get all over the place, it doesn't belong in your face. And this is definitely one of those meals. That crispy batter on the outside and that jalapeno sauce, absolutely amazing. Oh, absolutely wonderful. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks a lot for watching the show. And remember to always tip your server, and that includes your pizza boy. See you next time.
Be sure to like us on Facebook for updates on VTV Channel 6 programming. Don't forget, you can watch current and previous episodes of Living Well on demand at VTVChannel6.com. And while you're there, be sure to send us an idea for an upcoming episode. If you enjoy Living Well Uintah Basin, please take the opportunity to reach out and thank the local, community-minded businesses that make it possible. Ashley Regional Medical Center, Warriors Warehouse, and Uintah Recreation District. Until next time, live well and stay healthy, Uintah Basin.